White House. We are against strikes on Russian territory, but it's up to Ukraine to decide.
Here's a summary of the article.
At a briefing on Wednesday, 31 May, John Kirby, coordinator for strategic communications of the White House National Security Council, once again clarified the position of the United States on the conduct of hostilities on Russian territory. Details. According to Kirby, the United States does not tell Ukraine what targets to hit and not to hit, nor does it indicate how Ukrainian forces should conduct hostilities. But ultimately, President Zelensky and his military commanders decide what they're going to do from a military perspective, and they decide what they're going to do with the equipment that has been provided to them and that they now own, the White House representative said. Kirby added that the United States has been very clear to the Ukrainians both privately and publicly, that it does not support attacks inside Russia and does not want them to be carried out using American weapons. Separately, he said that Washington has received assurances that F-16 fighters will not be used for attacks on the Russian Federation in the future, and we have gotten these assurances at various levels, not just from President Zelensky, but also from other senior military and defense leaders in Ukraine. According to various reports, between 25 and 32 drones attacked Moscow on the night of the 29th to the 30th of May, damaging at least 2 high-rise residential buildings, and most of the drones were reportedly shot down near the Russian capital. The German government says that international law permits Ukraine to strike at the aggressor's territory in self-defense.
This post received a score of 19,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Seems the not using American weapons is the important point for them.
So legitimate question. What does the US do if they use F-16s to attack Russia?
Probably first give a warning, and if it persists they might cut aid. Ukraine has plenty of ways to strike inside Russia without using American weapons, so following the rule shouldn't be too hard.
The US is only worried about an American-made weapon being marched into Moscow as a false flag saying that, NATO tried to kill us, and using it as a completely fabricated casus belli to go full-blown stupid. If Ukraine uses an F-16 to shoot at targets within Russia and gets out scot-free, the generals will all go to the news outlets and grumble, but that'll be the end of it. There will be no reduction of arms, but there may be a lot of back-channeling and phone calls trying to get them to beg off. But the reality is, there's every chance they do it anyways, and there's every chance the US whistles like nothing's happening. After all, the F-16's been on the market so long anyone could have gotten them from anywhere, and there's plenty of evidence of Russia trying to fabricate casus belli elsewhere. As long as they keep the world from turning this thing into WWII, I genuinely don't think the US generals give a shit. Ukraine's winning a war the US couldn't fight, against an enemy we're more than happy to see fail after making a monumentally huge, historically critical blunder.
Don't forget that the US gets a weakened Russia with no loss of American life. This is what makes every penny worth it. There's nothing less popular than a war where Americans die halfway across the world. See Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan. WW2 Japan doesn't apply, as they attacked the homeland first.
It also sends a very powerful signal to a certain nation. This is what we'll do for a country that, while we'd rather not do without, isn't a strategic imperative. What do you think we'll do for a country that produces most of our cutting-edge electronics, silicon? I think you're underselling the strategic importance of Ukraine. The war in Ukraine isn't just an opportunity to give an irredentist Russia a bloody nose, it's also an opportunity to bring Ukraine closer to the EU and NATO. Ukraine brings with it a deep understanding and experience of Russia, and first-hand experience of large-scale near-peer warfare in the 21st century. U.S. support of Ukraine helps to remake the U.S.'s image as true supporters of liberty, of the plucky underdog, and of international law, which is very useful in terms of soft power all over the world after the debacle of the war on terror in Iraq. I'm not saying Taiwan isn't equally or even more important for U.S. foreign policy. It is foundational for the high-tech economy after all, and is a major U.S. ally, but I don't think I would dismiss Ukraine as isn't a strategic imperative.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.